Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we have ourselves a track by an act named Shadows and Veils titled Black Magic. If we switch over to here, we've got it on Music Bee. We've got the album art here, or the single art for Shadows and Veils Black Magic. I'm just making sure that, I can see where the play button's at. There we go, awesome. We're gonna be listening through this track from start to finish here, what we think. I am familiar with Shadows and Veils' work, and I'm really glad to be listening to more of their music, so I typically have a really good time with it. So yeah, let's go. Let's do this. What have we got to play around with today? Oh, we got some jazzy bass lines with the drums, a bit of a walking going on there, that's cool. Lovely tail on those cymbals.
They say that love, like black magic, feels the brain and broken brain.
This is very different to what I've heard from them before, and I kind of enjoy the change of tone, this lounge jazzy kind of vibe from it. You know, it's very smooth, very sultry. I dig it. It's got a nice clean tone to it as well.
Your eyes, quite your desires and pathways. Is there anybody real there?
Oh, that guitar tone. Woo! Bit of a kick to that, those sort of guitars, eh? Oh, is there like is there an effect on the vocals or something like that? That's kind of neat as well. Sensational vocalist as well, stunning pipes, great. Little great passage that we had just before sending that scale there with the legato and the little bits of flutter and vibrato there. It was nice to have that shift between that and the heavily distorted. Maybe there's like a filter on the vocals as well. It's kind of adding like a voice pedal or something like that. I don't know. There's lots of fun stuff going on. I'm kind of intrigued by this, to be honest. Kind of intrigued.
It's like being shot in the head at Clover.
We've got some brass in here. It's a sensational contrast to the heavier, distorted bits, which sounded totally in your face, like a wall. It's very different. Oh, dynamic range is important.
Do you train to be that way? You're like a dynamite invading my brain.
Oh, invading the brain. What? Don't want to be with you anyway. This is more what I'm used to, this particular section. Oh, a sultry little solo here, very well considered. Oh, damn. Oh, we're voicing ourselves over this section as well.
They say that black magic, blind the needy brain. You're so very like a night invading my brain, melt away insane. You're like a
I like the tone of the vocals in the chorus. I don't entirely get what's being said all of the time, partially because of the effects that have been used. At the same time, I'm not necessarily mad about that, you know? I've got no real issues with that. I think that it's good to be creative about this sort of stuff. It doesn't have to be thoroughly literal and easily perceivable all the time. That bit of distortion and dissonance can be helpful to establish more of a relevant emotion to it. I'm not really sure what to make of the song. I enjoy it. I enjoyed the song a lot. It's thoroughly fantastic, and I'm really happy that I got the experience to listen to it, or the chance and the opportunity, and to listen to it. I don't really know what the song's about. I'm gonna, because this is effectively the quote unquote conclusion. I mean, I know I enjoyed the track. I know there were some cool musical ideas, and the smoothness between there was parts talking about like the black magic invading my brain and stuff like that. There's the sophistication of the woman singing that over the lounge jazz and stuff like that, and then I think maybe the distorted heavier bits were when her brain was getting messed with, and it was her like kind of experiencing that black magic, I suppose. Is that the kind of vibe with it? Is that meant to sort of show the cut and dry, the differences, the night and day differences between the two? Am I misunderstanding something? They don't want to be with each other, but that black magic keeps pulling them back together. You know, it's kind of irresistible. Yeah, great contrast between the jazzy bits and the harder rock parts. Sensational solo there, because I know that my understanding, and I could be wrong, is that Shredders and Veils is like a trio, and they specialize primarily in, you know, like vocals and drum bass and all that kind of stuff, and they had like a guest soloist on for the guitar solo, and they did a phenomenal job. It'd be great to hear more of their lead work and other tracks that they do, but I also understand that there's a specific time and a specific place for stuff like that. It's not every day you get a guitarist who can place those notes in that modular sense for a jazzy riff and to go straight into a soulful, meaningful passage across the power chords that were going on in that solo section and the rhythm section. I liked how active the drums were, but also how supportive they are with the rest of the instruments. I enjoyed the bass there. The bass, the boom, 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 boom. It was a catchy little groove that we had there with the walk. Synced up really well with what we're saying with the triplet groove with the ride cymbals. And that was really smooth. Those smooth ride crashes and all that, man. Sensational. The structure of it was fairly conventional, but I think that worked to its benefit. Remembering, of course, this track was just under 4 minutes. So it was using up all that real estate to fit as much as it could in. And considering we had some really interestingly textured and developed and communicated verse passageways with the contrast with the choruses and that extended solo section and everything like that, I think it was fantastic. I think we had an interlude in there as well. There's a lot of stuff in there to appreciate and enjoy. What else do I want to say about this track? I think that the performances, and I've talked about the guitars, of course, the drum, you know, and we talked about the drums. A fairly articulate performance all around. The singer, sensational. Clearly, phenomenal control over her vocals and technique. It was great to hear them playing around with vocal modulation, actually, because sometimes it can be a shame. You have people who are fantastic singers and they're afraid to sort of do things to their voice like that could potentially alter the quality of the performance. But being open-minded like that can lead to better things, as long as, like, you know, within reason, of course. You know, you don't want to completely ruin the musicality of it or warp it to a point where it's meaningless. But with Black Magic by Shredders and Veils, I didn't manage to do that. It was clear that everyone in this band knew how to play their instruments fairly well, and this is something I have repeatedly been reminded of whenever I listen to Shredders and Veils' work. It's a pleasure to keep following them and hearing what they're up to, because they clearly know what they're doing. And the production as well, I think, it was solid in this, and it was phenomenal. It's one of the strongest ones yet I've heard from them. All the levels in the track were basically flawless. I really thoroughly enjoyed listening to them, you know, talk about... I like listening to how the different instruments interact with each other. I liked how they handled that contrast between a heavier and lighter, more sort of the swing sections. I think just, again, allowing for that dynamic range in the final master and not sort of choosing to make it loud for the sake of it being loud and allow a bit of dynamic range. I think that's just stuff that this isn't any sort of amateur hour project. This is like the real stuff. These are career musicians. And I really hope that, you know, as the world opens up and they can continue to do so, like, I hope they're able to do live shows and go and explore and meet their fans and everything, because they ought to have fans by now considering the stuff they're putting out. I really hope they can find success with this music. I haven't really heard a track like this during the time I've been doing these reviews, and I really hope they can continue to experiment, find more grooves like that, and just have fun. But that's effectively my review of Black Magic by Shredders and Veils. Hopefully you enjoyed this review of this video. I think I've gone through everything I wanted to say about this track. Yeah, you know, the structure of it, the way the vocals are done, the story that was being told. I suppose if I was to finish on the story that was being told, I think that there was a genuine authenticity to the way that the singer was performing and sort of verbalizing these lines. There was a sense of desperation in the chorus, and it was almost like you had the after whatever cigarette during the verses and all that kind of stuff. You'd had the hit, and then maybe the choruses were like the part where you had that you needed that fix, or maybe there was just the aftermath or the hangover, I suppose. Again, it was really authentic, a really genuine performance, and it was believable. And while I think there was a bit more nuance to the song that I didn't quite get, I hope that that everything's working out for Shadows and Veils at this point in time. It's a bit crazy, and hopefully they're able to find success, as I mentioned before. But anyways, please do go check out Shadow and Veils' various social medias and go show them some love. And stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next review. Spider hands up.